From analog
Hi, Jim. You've a great signal up here. You're 5.9 plus.
to digital.
We are everywhere you want to be. This is the CQ Blind Pams Podcast.
Hello everyone, this is Mike Zero Echo Bravo Papa with another efficient brief podcast empowering blind people to enjoy the hobby. And today I'm going to demonstrate setting up a CTR2 Micro from Lynovation. I should point out that I was sent my first micro at a reduced cost. Firstly, let's take a look at the micro. When the micro arrives and you open the package, you will notice it's a small plastic box with a tuning knob on the top. And it's pretty weighty for its size. If you feel the top plate as well as the tuning knob, you'll notice that 3 of the corners have something on them and 1 doesn't. So to orientate the device, have the empty corner on your right hand side facing you. And if we travel clockwise along to the left edge, and you'll find function button 1. A little way up from that is programmable function number 2, and right up to the back corner on the left hand side is function button 3. Along the back edge and at the corner we have an LED. If you have a dip switch on the outside version, you'll see the dip switches are facing you. Going round the left hand side, this is where the USB-C port is, which provides the means of programming the micro and powering it. On the back, you'll notice there are 3 1/8 of an inch 3.5mm sockets. Your control cable to the radio fits in the middle one of these sockets. I'm going to demonstrate setting up an ICOM 7100. ICOM use a CIV address system, and they have a CIV socket. It is very easy to connect an ICOM radio with the micro by using a stereo audio patch lead. Once you've done the cabling for your micro and it is connected to a computer and you got the Windows connection sound, you need to observe in Device Manager what port number has been assigned. So I'm going to hit the Start button and type DEV and then the Enter key.
Start window. Search with Device Manager. Tree view. Penny expanded 1 of 1 level 0.
And I'm going to tab once.
Pane. Tree view. Penny expanded 1 of 1 level 0. Level 1 audio inputs and outputs collapsed 1 of 26.
And I just cursored down to ensure that the tree was expanded. If it wasn't, I would have just tapped the right arrow key, but I'm going to press P for ports.
P. Ports. Command LPT. Collapsed 16 of 26 level 1.
And NVDA tells me that it is collapsed, so I'm going to tap the right arrow key.
Expanded. 3 items.
and I'm going to cursor down to explore what is in this category.
Level 2 Silicon Labs Dual CP2 USB serial device, COM12, 3 of 3 level 2.
The two above there were Silicon Labs, and they are the drivers for the ICOM radio. And the USB serial device, and I'll just cursor off it, cursor up and cursor down.
Silicon Labs Dual USB serial device, COM12, 3 of 3 level 2.
The Micro is listed as a USB serial device, and it's on COM12. So I'm going to press Alt F4 to close the window, close the device manager.
PUTTY configuration dialog connection.
And I'll mute NVDA because you can hear that PuTTY is open. But I'm going to show you TeraTerm or Term Pro first.
TeraTerm, new connection dialog. Host, combo box collapsed. Edit Alt plus O selected myhost.my domain.
I pressed Enter on the desktop shortcut, and TeraTerm wanted permission to make changes to the system. I pressed Alt Y for yes, and then I'm presented with this dialog. Now we want to tell TeraTerm that we want to use a serial connection, and for this application it is Alt S for Sierra, S for serial.
Serial radio button checked, Alt plus S.
And we tab once forward.
Port, combo box COM1 collapsed, Alt plus R.
And we're on a combo box, and we just pull it down with the down arrow key.
COM2, COM4.
Now the reason why I'm showing you this, and I've got PuTTY open, is because you may recall that Windows has assigned COM12 to the Micro, and because TeraTerm is such an old program, it only recognizes ports below 10 single digit numbers, and 12 is just not going to work. Once you've selected the port, which will be showing in this combo box that your Micro is attached to, you can tab over to the OK button, but I'm going to find the cancel button.
OK button, cancel button. TeraTerm, disconnected VT terminal blank.
And I'll press Alt F4 to close this.
PUTTY configuration dialog connection type, host name or app.
And I'll mute that. So now we're in the PuTTY window, which I can use 2-digit port numbers. Now we are in PuTTY. We need to set up the connection parameters, and to select serial in PuTTY is Alt plus R for Romeo.
Serial radio button checked, Alt plus R.
Now we Shift Tab once.
Speed edit, Alt plus P selected 9600.
And that's the speed. We needn't worry about the speed in respect of the Micro.
Serial line edit, Alt plus N selected COM1.
And this is the edit field we need to change from COM1, which is there by default, and it is highlighted. And all we need to do is press the right arrow key to put us at the end of the entry.
Blank. COM1 unselected.
And tap a 2. And I'll left arrow to ensure that it does read COM12.
2, 1, M, O, C, O, L, 1, 2.
Sounds good to me. So now I'm going to press Alt O to open a PuTTY session with those parameters that I've just set. Then I'm going to press any key to start the micro interface. And NVDA is going to get pretty verbose on that screen because it's going to be probing for a radio that isn't there. Chances are that Lyn will have configured your micro for the profile that you wish to use it. But if you have to do it yourself, this is how you do it. It is easy. So let's do the alto for Oscar.
COM12, PUTTY terminal blank. 40 equals. CTR2 Micro radio controller and Kia. 40 equals. V the 1st of March 2006. C 2023 by Lyn Hansen. Q7Q. 178. 40 equals. Press any key to start. CTR2 Micro
Press
radio
any key to start, and this is where it's going to get
V
verbose.
1st of March space. Radio 4 flex. Offline 4992.
And I'll do the Control C.
40 equals. Config menu. 40 equals. A Wi-Fi equals on W. C profile equals radio 4. D name equals radio 4. ECAT equals flex. F connection equals.
I'll mute NVDA. You may have caught that C was the option for profile 4. So I'm going to select that.
C 21 equals. 40 equals. A Wi-Fi equals on W. C profile equals radio 4. D name equals radio 4. ECAT equals flex. Blank. J radio. I rate H. G rate. F rate. E radio 5. D rate. C radio. B radio 2 foot 9910. A radio 1 Yasu foot 818.
And the two profiles I have on this device are already the Yaesu 818,
B radio 2 foot 9910.
my 991A, and so I'm going to configure 3
C radio 3
for the ICOM. So I'm going to press C.
C 34 equals. 6 equals. A radio 1 Yasu foot 818. B radio 2 foot 9910. C radio 3
I'll mute NVDA and cursor up.
Blank ML blank I code report equal blank.
Cursoring up using the number 7 key.
G's F can ECAT D name C profile equals radio 3 blank. A Wi-Fi equals blank. C D name equals radio 3. ECAT equals flex.
And that is the option we want. E for echo. And it's currently set at flex, and I want to change that to ICOM. So I'm going to press E.
E 7 equals. 40 equals. A Wi-Fi equals on W. C profile equals radio 3.
And
D name equals.
I'll mute NVDA.
Blank.
And I'll cursor up again
L
with the
J I Yasu H G Kenwood 2 F Kenwood 1 E Ilcraft D ICOM.
and D for Delta is ICOM, so I'll press that.
D 23 equals. 40 equals. A bridge. B flex. C PCR 1000. D ICOM. E Ilcraft. F Kenwood 1. G Ken.
And I've just muted NVDA. Now because I've selected ICOM and they have these CIV addresses, it wants me to put in hex the value for this radio. I know what it is because I've configured it several times now, but you might not. So I'm just going to press enter, and it will get a little bit verbose because the micro will connect to the ICOM and then just keep repeating the S signal. And then I'll do Control W so that we can go and look at the Wi-Fi menu.
Radio 3 ICOM 19200. TX enabled Wi-Fi -44. VFOA 3.775.000. ATM LSB. B equals 10.000.000 control VFO. Vol equals 3GN equals 180 N equals 0 PWR equals 9%. F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7. Helps BRIT previous 0 VFO band. CTR2 Micro by Q7Q. S5. S6. 0x88 19200. TX enabled Wi-Fi minus 54. ATM.
And I'll do the Control W now.
40 equals. Config Wi-Fi menu. 40 equals. A disconnect Wi-Fi. B reset IP connection. CSAD equals ASL 52178. DPW equals 11 star. E auto connect equals on. F server equals unlocked. G require login equals disabled. Station ads equals 192.168.1.91. IP port equals 7900 and...
So I've muted NVDA, and you can hear there's a number of options here that we can edit.
Blank. IP port station blank.
And I'm cursoring up.
40 config Wi-Fi menu. 40 equals.
Using the number 7 on the numeric keypad.
40 a disconnect Wi-Fi.
A, because it's connected, is obviously disconnect, and when it's not connected it would be connect.
B reset IP connection.
B is reset.
CSAD equals ASL 52178.
C is where you enter the SSID of your home Wi-Fi network.
DPW equals 11 star.
And the DWP is your password field, and it always says 11 stars, so don't rely on that as meaning your password that you've entered is only 11 characters. It reads that whatever it is.
E auto connect equals on.
And you can have E selected as on. So I'm going to press escape to come out of the Wi-Fi menu because I don't need to change any of those settings. I just wanted to show you them.
Radio 3 icon. TX enabled Wi-Fi minus 42. Radio 3 icon. 0x88 19200. ATM LSB. B equals 10.000.000 control VFO. Vol equals 3 GN equals 100 ATN equals 0 PWR equals 9%. F1 F2 F3 F4 F5 F6 F7. Help SPE. CTR2 Micro by Q7Q. VFOA 3.775.000. Helps BRIT previous 0 VFO band. S6.
I'm going to press
S6.
the Control
S6.
B
S6.
to go to band, as if I wanted to go and change
S6.
bands.
40 equals. Band menu. 40 equals. A 160M N 70 centimeters. B80 MO 33 centimeters. C60 MP 23 centimeters. D40 MQ Gen. E30M. F20M. G7.
You'll notice that there are two columns here, and it's a question of just reading them carefully and selecting the right letter, and you just type the letter to the band you want to change to. I hope there's enough there to get you started with your CTR2 Micro from Lynovation.com. And that's all from me. From Mike Zero, Echo Bravo Papa.
Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast and visit www.blindhams.com.